Hello, hello, and welcome to the Innovative Mindset Podcast. I'm your host, Isolde Trachtenberg. It is Mindful Friday, and recently I've been thinking a lot about meditation and how we meditate. There are ways that you can do moving meditations like Tai Chi or yoga. You can take time every morning and every evening. You can take 1-minute breaks to breathe, any number of different ways to meditate as long as you get into that present space. One of the things that I have trouble with, of course, is quieting my mind. It is so hard for me to just go into that space of, I'm just going to breathe and just concentrate on in and out and in and out, or blue and green and blue and green as I inhale and exhale. I admit it, it's hard for me to do that. So one of the things that I like to do for myself, in addition to doing Tai Chi and yoga I've been doing every single day for the better part of 25 years, is to keep my mind sort of focused. That's a way that you can meditate. You can meditate with a focal point. And as I did last week for Mindful Friday, I chose a card from my Mindful Creative deck that I've developed, and I use this with my private clients, and I use it when I do workshops at companies and organizations to help people unlock their ability to be mindful, but also to be creative and to think. I hate saying outside the box, but to think of possibilities, to look at life from an imagine if or an I know what let's do perspective. So what I'm doing for the next few Mindful Fridays is I'm choosing a card out of this Mindful Creative deck, and I'm going to invite you to focus on the image, because I'll put the image in the show notes, but also there's a word that is associated with the image in the card that you can meditate on, that you can focus on to help you get and stay in that mindful state. So today's card, and you can actually probably hear me shuffling. I'm shuffling the deck even as I talk about this with you. And I'm going to choose a card right now. And it's going to be I love it. The card that I've chosen is called Full Circle. And you'll be able to see that in the card, there's a woman who is standing sort of in front of the earth, if you will, and she's dancing, and around her is a laurel wreath of victory, and around the laurel wreath there's a bull and an eagle, a lion, and a human, and it's the different ways that we all can be present and alive. And one of the things that I love about Full Circle as a concept is that when we deal with issues, when we address aspects in our lives that we want to improve or change or do something about, deal with in some way, we tend to want to think, I dealt with it and it's over, particularly if it's an issue. But let's be honest, that isn't really how it works, Most of the time, you deal with it and you've dealt with some aspect of it, and then it comes around again. It's kind of like Alice's Restaurant, it comes around again on the guitar, if you will. That's what happens with a lot of things in our lives. We think we might have dealt with it, but no, we're not really finished dealing with whatever it was, and we're going to have to come around in the circle one more time. And I look at it not quite as coming around full circle in those situations. I look at it more like coming around on a spiral. You're approaching this issue or the thing in your life that you're trying to improve or deal with in a slightly different way, from a slightly different perspective than you would if you were coming exactly to the right place. Because time is, from our concept, linear. We can't actually go to the exact same place, but we can look at it from a slightly different perspective, but almost the same. And so as you focus on this notion of coming around full circle, I'm going to ask you to take a few minutes and just breathe in and breathe out and think about What is coming around in your life that is coming around full circle, that are things that you might be completing or things that you might be dealing with that are old business, that are old baggage, that you can now approach from a different perspective? And that, I think, is a beautiful way to look at this notion of things coming around full circle. You thought you dealt with it and it wasn't quite done, but now you're coming to look at it again, but from a slightly different place. I don't know if you've ever seen pictures of spiral galaxies. You know that there's a central, the center of a galaxy, our galaxy, the Milky Way, other galaxies like Andromeda, the closest galaxy to us. You can look at all of that, but you can see the arms of the galaxy sort of spiraling out. And if you are on a planet on one of those arms and you're looking towards the center of the galaxy, you're going to see that center from anywhere if you're able to see it. But at the same time, if you are closer to it versus farther away on the arm of that galaxy, you're still seeing the center, but you're looking at it from a slightly different perspective. And the same goes for us orbiting the sun. When we come around full circle, let's say your birthday, they say, oh, happy trip around the sun, right? I just celebrated my birthday in October. And that's what a lot of people said to me. Happy sun return, happy trip around the sun. Yeah, we are, today you are at the exact same place around the sun you were last year at this exact time. But you have a year's more wisdom, a year's more experience, a year's more knowledge, a year's more growth to draw on as you come around full circle. So as you think about being more mindful, think about that as part of your experience. Every minute of every day enriches your experience, enriches your growth, and enriches the possibility of who you are and who you will be. And the same thing can be broken down into full circle. If it's 6 a.m. when you're listening to this, by gum, 6 a.m. tomorrow, 6 a.m. the next day, you'll still be you. You'll be coming around full circle to 6 a.m., but you will be different because you will have had that time to grow and change and stretch and become even more of who you were always meant to be. I hope you've enjoyed today's episode of Mindful Friday. It was brought to you by Brain FM. As always, I love Brain FM. You know I do. If you want to try Brain FM, head over to brain.fm/innovative mindset and you can get 20% off so that you can try the app, see if you like it. I love it. I use it to sleep and to create and to grow and innovate my life in my work with companies, clients, and also my writing, my music, everything I'm doing, I do as part of with Brain FM nowadays because it helps me focus when I want it and need it. It helps me recharge when I want it and need it. It helps me meditate. It helps me sleep. It gives me a lot of brain space, if you will, and mind space to do the things that I want to do. Until next time, this is Isolde Trachtenberg reminding you to dream big and dare all.